This says oviparous mammals. Mammals are warm-blooded animals that suckle their young like cows. Oviparous animals are those born from an egg like chicks. That is why egg-laying mammals are extremely rare. There are only two types of mammals, egg-laying and monotremes. This says monotreme. Monotreme is the group that gathers only current egg-laying mammals instead of giving birth to live young. Monotremes are the only mammals that are known to have a sense of electroreception. This says electrolocation, which means that they can locate their prey in part by detecting electric fields generated by muscular contractions of the same prey. The first is the platypus. This says platypus. The common name in Spanish also comes from the Greek meaning ornithorhynchus, pájaro, bird, and pico, beak. This is the scientific classification of the platypus. Domain, Eucharae, kingdom, Animalia, phylum, Chordata, class, Mammalia, order, Monotremata, family, Ornithorhynchidae, genus, Ornithorhynchus, species, Ornithorhynchus anatinus. It is a species of mammal because it produces milk to feed their young. It is semi-aquatic because he lives on land and in water, and lives in small streams and rivers in a biogeographical area which has a wide variety of habitats and climates. It is endemic in eastern Australia and Tasmania. This says endemic, which means that they only live in a particular region. They have an unusual appearance, snouted duckbill, decaster tail, and otter legs. It is one of the few venomous mammals. Males have a spur on their hind legs that releases a poison capable of producing severe pain to humans. It is one of the icons of their country of origin, Australia. It appears on the back of the Australian 20-cent coin. The platypus is the animal emblem of the state of New South Wales. Until the early 20th century, it was hunted for its fur, but it is now protected throughout its range. When the platypus was first discovered by Europeans in 1798, Captain John Hunter sent a sketch and a sample of the skin to Britain. In view of this strange animal, British scientists believed it to be a hoax. George Shaw, in 1799, made the first description of the platypus in the journal Naturalist's Miscellany. This species has only one mating period. After a complicated courtship that ends with the couple swimming together, circling slowly, while the male subjects its beak to the tail of the female. Outside the mating season, the platypus lives in a simple ground burrow, with the entrance about 30 centimeters above the water level. After mating, the female builds a deeper, more elaborate burrow up to 20 meters long and plugs at intervals, perhaps as protection. Females have a pair of ovaries, but only the left is functional. The male does not develop any role in the rearing offspring and retreats to its burrow. They lay 1 to 3, usually 2, small leathery eggs, similar to those of reptiles, measuring about 11 millimeters in diameter and are slightly rounder than those of birds. The eggs develop in utero for about 28 days and only about 10 days of external incubation. After the commissioning of these sticky eggs and thin shell, the female holding them snuggles against her belly with her tail. Newborns are vulnerable, blind, hairless, and fed with breast milk. Although possessing mammary glands, it lacks depth zones. Milk is released through skin pores. The offspring are suckled for 3 to 4 months. This is what a baby platypus looks like drinking. Now we move to the second oviparous mammal species, the echidnas. This says echidnas. This is the scientific classification of echidnas. Kingdom, animals. Phylum, chordats. Subphylum, vertebrates. Class, mammals. Subclass, ray-finned fishes. Order, eels. Suborder, Tachyglossa. Family, moray eels. They inhabit the islands of New Guinea, its neighboring island, Salawati, Australia, and Tasmania. Echidnas are named after the mythical nymph mother of all monsters from a classic Greek legend. They are called spiny anthers. Their body is covered in spikes. Leading diet, mostly Insectivorous, and in some cases they have a partiality for ants and termites. This says Insectivorous, which means to eat insects. Currently 2 living genera are recognized, with only 4 species. Short-beaked or Australian echidnas, long-beaked or the New Guinea echidna. They are compact body animals and covered with a dense coat of protruding long spikes, employed as a defense. Usually it measures between 35 and 45 centimeters long, with a tail of 10 centimeters and an average weight of 2 to 7 kilograms. Their diet consisting of insects and worms, buccal turbler apparatus determines a narrow opening provided with a long sticky tongue that can reach 20 centimeters in length. They have no teeth. When eating, food is crushed with horny spikes located on the palate at the end of the mouth. Plus a heightened sense of smell, they are equipped with touch electroceptors in the face, which make it easy to find the colonies of ants and termites. They are powerful diggers who use hands and feet to build galleries and holes or dig in the earth in search of food. This says hollowness. It means the space in which a solid body is empty, like a tree trunk. Diggers have hands and feet equipped with powerful claws. The second toe of the hind legs is longer and used for scratching and to clean the hair and skin. The males and some females have spurs after the joint knee. It does not synthesize any toxic substance. The real function of these is unknown. The female develop a temporary Marsupio during the incubation and lactation. This says Marsupio. Marsupio is the outer bag that is in the belly areas of the female marsupial mammals, in which they keep and feed their young a few months after the birth. The penis of the male has 4 heads, something which is common in reptiles but rare in mammals. In spite of being a mammal, the young are born from eggs, as it is one of the 2 egg-laying mammals. Despite what it is, the echidnas don't hibernate as a result of the cold. The state of torpor in which some isolated specimens are subjected to seems to be related rather to an abnormal digestive process. This says hibernation. It is the ability that certain animals have to adapt to extremely cold climate conditions. It may resemble a state of regulated hypothermia for a few days, weeks, or months, allowing them to conserve energy during the winter. The female lays a single egg with a soft and leathery shell. This says leathery, which means it has the look and feel similar to leather. The incubation lasts 10 days. The echidna baby suckles milk from the pores of the two mammary glands. Monotremes have no nipples and remain in the bag for 45 to 50 days. At that time, they begin to develop the thorns. The mother digs a burrow and lays the small, returning every 5 days to breastfeed until weaning, which is at 7 months. Here you can see a baby echidna.